Welcome back. That we are discussing or I have introduced the diamond problem in the last lecture. So we have find the problem. What will be the issue here? Okay, the issue is here that copier class will have two different copies of power device, one through this path and another through this path. This is the thing that I have taught in the last lecture. Okay, now let's go back to the go in deep to this diamond problem. This is the inheritance structure that we might thought here. This is the thing that we have. Now inner structure of this hybrid inheritance will be look like this. Here power device have follow single inheritance relationship with scanner. That means scanner class also have what? So when you create the object of scanner class, scanner class will have the base part called power device. Okay, so this is also called single inheritance. Fine. Okay, I hope you understand this. And in this side also, when you're going to create object of printer class will also have the object of power device, and as it is its own part. Okay, so see how many copies we have now. We have copy number 1 in the scanner class object, and we have copy number 2 in printer class object. So when we inheriting the copier class, from the copier class, from scanner class and from printer class, what we will have now? This is the scanner class object. Okay, so first part, sorry, my mistake here. Okay, so last part is what? Last part is the object of copier class. So when you try to create the object of copier class here, first part of this object will be the object of here scanner class, and second part of this copier class object will be the object of printer class. Now printer class object has what? Printer class object have this, and scanner class object have what? Scanner class object have this. So the problem is that here also power device presented, and here also power device presented. Right? So this will be the issue in the diamond problem. Okay, so let's move further here. Let's go to the check the sample code and try to understand the diamond problem. So these are the classes we have here. Very simple class that we have designed. Power device class with the constructor. Okay, and scanner device class is doing what? Is inheriting the power device class using the public mode. Okay, and scanner class also have simple constructor, and we are calling the power device class constructor from the scanner device class because I hope you remember that when we discussed this inner view of the diamond problem, we found that when you're going to create the scanner class object also have power device class part inside it. So for this reason, when we define the constructor of the scanner class, we need to call the base class constructor first. Okay. So similarly, we have printer class also. The same thing we need to follow. We need to call the power device class constructor from the printer constructor. Okay. Now let's look at this. This is very familiar. We called it multiple base class inheritance. Fine, where multiple classes are used for inheriting, and explicitly we should mention the inheritance type for each class, and we must use a comma as a separator between the base classes. So here copier is what? Copier is the derived class. Okay, derived class, and scanner is the base 1, and printer will be what? Printer will be your base 2. Okay, base 2. So this is multiple inheritance. So again, we have what? We have a copier constructor here. So when you want to initialize the copier constructor, we need to initialize scanner first, we need to initialize printer first. Okay, so we are initializing scanner and we are initializing printer from copier. Okay, so just look at this, the main method here. We are creating here object of copier class. Okay, so copier class will be the bottom part of this object. Once you creating this object of copier class, your program control will jump the constructor of copier class. Okay, what next? This constructor will call the constructor of scanner class. Okay, it will call the constructor of scanner class. So let's create here scanner class object. Okay, so we are creating here scanner class object. Fine. So scanner class object, when you call it, again have the initial as a list, and scanner class object again calling which class object, which class constructor? Its base class power device. So power device is part of the scanner class. Okay, let me erase this diagram. Okay, so scanner class have the which part? Power device part. Okay, no need to erase. Fine. Next, once it's done, now it's going to call the printer class constructor. When you go into printer class constructor, it will come here. Okay, so let me add a printer class constructor. So for better understand, I am using PR for the printer class object. And printer class object is doing what? Printer class object calling the power device class constructor again. So that means printer class will also have another version of power device class constructor. Fine. So now copier class object will have what? Copier class will have the one copy of power device through scanner, and it also have another copy of power device through printer. That means multiple copies are available here. Okay, so what will happen when you're going to create the object of copier class? This will be the output we might think. Okay, this will be the output. So look at this output here. Power device get called first for scanner, and power device again called for printer. Okay, so multiple copies. So this should not be done. We want only single copy of power device. Okay, we want single copy. We do not want multiple copies. We want only one copy of power device. Now question is that if I want only one copy of power device from scanner and printer, who is going to take this responsibility to initialize the power class data member? Okay, so the what will be the question here? Then power device get constructed twice. Yes, then what you want? We want only one copy. Okay, only one copy of power device here, not more than one copy, to be shared by both scanner and printer. But due to this previous thing, what we get? We get two copies. One copies from here, one copies from here. We do not want these two copies. We sorry, we need only one copy. So then, what will be the solution? How to get this only one copy? Then what is the solution? The solution is only the called it virtual base class. Okay, we're going to inherit scanner and printer virtually from power device. Okay, we're going to inherit scanner and printer virtually from power device. So we're going to see in detail how we can inherit a class virtually from another class in the next video lecture. Hope you understand the problem of diamond problem. We called it also hybrid inheritance, or in another way also you can call it multi-path inheritance. Okay, so in the next lecture we're going to see how can we inherit a class virtually from another class. For what purpose? To provide only one copy, not the multiple copies, to provide only one copy of the topmost base class. Okay, thank you.